Criminal justice advocates in Louisiana are looking into how to implement a new law dealing with ankle monitors. Now, the mandate, which goes into effect January 1st, will increase regulations for keeping tabs on both adult and youth offenders. WDSU reporter Shay O'Connor joins us with what happened at a meeting that took place today, and it's aimed at addressing just that. Shay?
That's absolutely correct, Stella. Finally, some real movement on the situation that goes into effect on January 1st. Now, today, a meeting was actually held with ankle monitor officials in the Office of Juvenile Justice to make sure everyone is prepared and on the same page. And ankle monitor officials tell me they're a bit concerned.
OJJ is definitely interested in following the law.
However,
Well, my biggest concern is that the OJJ had indicated that they had not read the law yet, and I think that it's not long, it's not difficult to read.
Matthew Dennis is the president of the Association of Supervised Ankle Monitor Providers. He also runs ASAP Monitoring. Dennis has been sounding the alarm for quite some time, specifically when it comes to juveniles not being live monitored and the effects that follow.
With so many people getting hurt or dying because in a lot of cases, some providers are not doing their jobs.
Under the new law, if a violation occurs, providers have 24 hours to report it to the court and bond agents. If the provider doesn't do this, they could face fines or losing their license. These changes will directly impact the juvenile justice system because juvenile courts currently do not live monitor their offenders. The bill's author, State Rep Tim Kerner, says the law is all about providing some accountability.
This would take a big step in reducing crime because you're actually putting the criminal that's got the monitor system on because of what he did, and it's not allowing him to actually repeat and do it again while he's sentenced.
When there is an issue, let's say someone cuts their bracelet, who's going to be the agency to go and respond to these situations?
Councilwoman Helena Moreno says while she thinks the new law is important, her concern is how it will be enforced if there is a violation.
NOPD does not have the manpower to do that. So that means that we either have to partner up with another law enforcement agency to be the responders to a situation like this, or with a bail bond company.
Stella, I should also note that I did reach out to the Office of Juvenile Justice on this. Now, Moreno says the City Council is looking into what comes next. But you may recall months ago, the City Council did realize millions of dollars allocated for juvenile services had not yet been sent or spent. The DA has also been very vocal in wanting that funding to go towards live monitoring and enforcement for juvenile offenders. Stella?
All right, Shay, thank you.